Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Fellows.
I'm Molly Day.
Today is January, I should look at this every time. 22nd, is that right?
Yeah.
2021. And we are 2 days away from beating the mess out of the Pankers.
Pankers? What'd you say?
The Pankers. The Packers in the NFC Championship and going to the Super Bowl. Woohoo! But you know what? You can't do that. You can't look past the team. That's what the coaches say. You can't do that.
That's right.
And as fans, we can't do it either.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. We got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking about the Saints game, what we saw on the All-22. We're going to cover some news, and then we're going to talk about the upcoming Packers game. See what we think is going to happen, and some information concerning that. We got any fact checks or follow-ups? No, because we didn't even watch the last podcast, did we? Listen to it. Although here's what we did get: we got a lot of comments that me and Molly are getting a divorce, apparently. Now
we were so low energy.
Oh yeah. And it was my fault. I was totally distracted. And normally when I don't have stuff prepared a lot or I'm distracted by something, I'll tell Molly, I'll say, okay, what is it we say? You take this one or you're going to handle. And I didn't tell her that because I was distracted. And so she kind of got caught off guard of me just sitting there. But
what is with you?
Yeah. As far as I know, we're not getting divorced, are we?
As far as I know, I think we're fine.
You think?
I think.
You think we're fine?
Today.
Let me think about it
tomorrow.
Too.
Yeah. We'll go over that. That'll be a fact check or follow-up next time.
Fact check or follow-up. Yes, we are getting a divorce. I didn't know about it. Papers were filed a week ago.
No, really, we were so excited on Monday.
Oh, crazy.
And then by the time we recorded Tuesday, I think that the adrenaline had worn off and the hangover, and we were both just so drained. That's how I felt. I was very tired and drained, and we really should have recorded Monday, even though we were hungover, because the adrenaline was still there, and we were still really excited.
Yeah, we talked about it all day Monday.
I know.
And we recorded one Sunday right after the game. But like we said in the last podcast, man, we were shit-faced.
Well, everyone wanted that one uploaded.
Well, of course. Yeah, who wouldn't want that one? It probably would have been better than
everyone but you and me, I think, wanted that one uploaded.
Well, the main reason why we didn't do it is because I went off on a cussing tangent for about 20 minutes. And, I called out a lot of people in the media, by name and, brought up certain incidences and stuff like that. And it was just, I wanted it to be, happy. This is a positive thing. I don't want to. I'll save that until after we lose or after the season.
Yeah.
To really.
Well, we need somebody to blame. We got a list going.
Yeah, ain't nothing like blaming people. Oof, love it. All right, let's move on to the Saints game. What did we see? What was it we said happened after the game? I mean, what was our viewpoint of the game after watching the broadcast live?
And you know what? I haven't watched your Tiffies yet, so this is still fresh for me. I'm not tainted by the Tiffies. The defense killed it. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I remember.
Yeah. That game was definitely about the defense.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
all I got.
That'll work. Here are my notes from the All-22. This is probably the fewest notes I've ever taken.
I know, and you only got 2 videos.
Only got 2 videos out of it. And the second one was 13 minutes. And a lot of it was me talking about penalties. It was just too much. I don't like doing that. And I don't put all the penalty stuff in there by far, but it's the Saints, and I'm really sick of their cheating. I'm not going to lie.
Cheating bitches.
They just do all these little things that, makes it, you just come in. It's like we had we kicked a field goal, right? Now I've been talking about our special teams all year long. And there's a rule that you can't stand within the shoulders of the long snapper, right? You can't leap over the long snappers. You you can't put your hands on them and leap over them. You can't put your hand on any player and leap over them. And you have to be on the line of scrimmage in order to leap. You can't get a running start. It's all kinds of weird rules they've got nowadays. We actually got flagged a few games ago. Devin White did for standing too close to the line of scrimmage in front of the snapper. Yeah, it was ridiculous. He didn't even move. He just stood there. I don't even think he put his arms up. He just stood there, and they flagged him for it. Well, the Saints, what they did in one of our kicks is they had two guys. One guy grabbed the back of the long snapper as soon as he snapped it and pushed him straight down. Another guy grabbed the right guard and pushed him straight down. And they had a guy jump over top of those two. They purposely pushed them down. Yeah, you can. I scoured the rule book. I was like, man, that's got to. But it's right on the edge. And honestly, I love stuff like that. It's kind of like a Belichick thing. It shows a lot of strategy, a lot of planning. But at the same time, it's just like Drew Brees when he gets, he throws the ball in the dirt when he's getting ready to get sacked, and there's a running back that's 15 yards away, and they won't call it intentional grounding because there was a running back over there. It's the what's the heart of the rule, the intent of the rule. Yeah. Yes, the intent of the rule to not put your hand on the long snapper is because he's defenseless. And so what they do, instead of having the guy who's going to leap put his hand over him, they just had two other guys grab all of them and push them down. It's the same thing.
Okay, you know what I got out of this?
What?
For someone who hates authority and rules, you're like a walking NFL rule book. All the rules and all the different specifications for each rule.
You think you do, and then they don't call it, and it's aggravating, or they change. What they do, like they did this year with the holding. They just, they put a memo out and said, yeah, we're not really going to call holding that much, unless it's blatant, and that just screws everything up. You're like, wait a minute, I've been watching football for 50 years. And holding has always been holding, and now it's not holding anymore unless it's blatant. Come on. And, of course, we had a couple of holding. The rest were terrible in this game. We played a very disciplined game, but they did their usual stuff where they held in certain moments. And Drew Brees did the thing again, and we were great with this. And we had talked about this in the podcast before the game. Yeah, Drew Brees is really good at getting people to jump off sides. And it's not just Drew Brees. It's some of his offensive linemen will do this. They'll flinch right before, when he does a hard count. They'll flinch, like a lineman will turn his head real quick, or Drew Brees will jut his hands out if he's in a shotgun, forward. And this time he did a head bob. He'd do like that when he tried to do a hard count.
I remember 6 years ago watching Phillip Rivers do that and get called for it.
Yeah, they used to call it all the time.
Yeah.
But I guess that's one of the things where they're just not calling it anymore. It's like the game, who was it? A couple weeks ago we played. The Redskins, the Washington football team. The quarterback was shooting his hands forward multiple times trying to get us to jump off sides, doing the hard count stuff. And they never called it. So anyhow, they tried doing that with us a couple times here. And we beat them. Our defensive linemen would jump, but they wouldn't go across the line. They would actually just fall straight down. And it made the offensive guys think that they had crossed the line, and they would jump and move and start pointing, and the offense got called. I loved it. It was great. There was a lot of chess match stuff going on in this game. Yeah. Our offensive game plan was great.
Do you think it was the coaching or all the veteran players, or both?
I think it was coaching. This was a really good coaching game.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I think after the second game was that it was really a failure of coaching.
The second game? Oh, yeah.
Against the Saints.
Yeah. Well, our defense, the coaching was great. We did. We do a lot of complex stuff. Really weird stuff all throughout the game. This game we didn't as much. We did do some complex stuff, but we played more man coverage than we have all season long. And I talk about how we will drop our outside linebackers. We'll drop them into coverage, and I talk about it here on the podcast about how many times we do it. This time we did it once.
Thank God.
Yeah, that was the well, we didn't play a lot of zone, and,
Oh, yeah.
when you drop them back and cover. And that one time we did it, Jameis Winston's touchdown.
Dang it.
Yeah, Barrett gone back. But it wasn't Barrett's fault by any means.
Yeah, wasn't that Carlton Davis' fault?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe it was Carlton Davis. They got confused. I mean, it was a confusing play. You could look at the defense, and none of our guys knew what was going on. Our defensive line was confused. Everybody was confused. And
how could you not be ready for Jameis to come in though?
Yeah,
that's kind of how I see it.
They started him off as a wide receiver. He was spread out
Jameis?
wide. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. And they did a double handoff thing. They handed it to somebody coming in motion, and then he tossed it to Jameis Winston, who had run in like the opposite direction motion. Yeah, it was
really. I don't remember any of this, and I think it's because I was talking shit on this one. I know. I was talking shit to the Saints fan.
Oh, you were screaming on that one, man. You were so angry.
I was going, he's only in there because Drew Brees has a noodle arm and can't throw it that far. Didn't matter. Touchdown.
Yeah, and Drew Brees did not play well during this game. It was a large part of the game. I actually, we always talk about, did we win? Did we lose? Did they beat us? Did we lose it ourselves? The stuff like that. Did they lose it themselves? I was right on the line with this about they lost this game.
Really?
Yeah, Drew Brees did not play well. And it really wasn't because of our pressure. We got some pressure in there. Never really hit him. We hit him a few times, but not a whole lot. But we were in his face and in his lap a lot.
Yeah.
And so he was having to get the ball out. But he was just throwing bad passes, bad decisions. Every interception we had was a bad decision by Drew Brees.
Really?
Now, the Devin White interception was beautiful. I mean, he reached out and grabbed that thing. It was a work of art. The last interception of the game, which is the last pass Drew Brees probably will ever throw, interception by us. Love it.
To the Buccaneers. Yeah.
It was Levante David that tipped the ball up. Yeah, and Mike Edwards ended up intercepting it.
Okay, we got 3 quarterback hits that whole game per ESPN.
But yeah, it's hard to get Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers is going to be just as hard, if not more difficult. Because it's kind of like Tom Brady. If they feel pressure, they're going to throw it.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. They're not going to.
And with Aaron, you have the possibility that he's going to run too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although he doesn't do that as much anymore. But we'll talk about that. Okay. So, anyhow, yeah, Drew Brees did not play a good game. They had dropped passes, but we had 7 dropped passes, 2 in the end zone. 2 by Gronk, 1 by Antonio Brown, 2 by Godwin.
You're telling me we could have beat them by 24.
Yeah. The one, beautiful play. The one that Gronk, I think it was Gronk. I can't remember. No, the one with Mike Evans, where, who's the guy that always covers him? 27. Lattimore. Yeah, he jumped up and knocked the ball out in the end zone. That was a great play by him, but that was a beautifully designed offensive play, and they had been setting it up for the first part of the game. Man, it was so good. It was really a work of art. It would have beaten anybody else in the league, but Lattimore, he's pretty good. He's especially pretty good with Mike Evans. But anybody else, that would have been a touchdown for sure. But it was beautifully designed. We had some really good. There was a lot of good chess match going back and forth. But besides that, we were fighting just like every down. We hate each other. The Saints and the Buccaneers, man, they were fighting literally, especially our defense. Our defense was in their face every down. When we were pointing at them, yelling at their sidelines, yelling at them. We'd tackle them, get up in their face, straddle them. We were pushing. Even little SMB. Sean Murphy Bunting was walking by an offensive lineman, going back.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he just sticks his arm out and elbows the guy in the stomach. It was just oh, get out of my way. He played great. SMB was all over the field. Him and Devin White were the key to our defense.
I just love that because SMB has not had the best season. So for him to show up when the lights are bright, that's awesome.
Yeah, he really, really did, man. He was all over the field. And Winfield, too. Winfield was, well, gosh, all of them, they just played really good. They were really sound. Although, I say that, but we had like 3 busted coverages. One of them was on the Jameis Winston play. But a couple of them, Drew Brees didn't see, which that's unusual for Drew Brees.
Yeah.
He did not have a good game.
That'll happen.
Hopefully we can move that into the Packers game, because I said that to play in the Packers that they did not. They played pretty bad. They brought their C game. We brought our B game.
Yeah.
If they bring their A+ game, we bring our A+ game, we'll win. But we'll talk about all that later. Anyhow, okay. So, yeah, the first.
I was going to say, with the chippiness on the field, it translated later to the players on social media, like talking shit. And they never do that. Our players do not do that ever, ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And so for them to be commenting after the game, I think that just shows. I don't know that they got under our skin, but to me, it just seemed like we were waiting for that moment.
Yeah, well, we definitely out-physical.
Yeah.
I mean, we were tackling. Man, we had some great tackling in this game. And, we were just hitting them and not saying sorry. That's for dang sure. Ryan Jensen in 47, what's his name?
On the Saints?
Yeah, Alex Anzalone, or Anzalone, whatever.
Oh, uh-huh.
They do not like each other. I mean, I can't. There was probably at least a dozen times where they were pushing and shoving, and there was quite a few times where you saw Jensen, when he snapped the ball, he sought 47 out. Yeah, it was great, man.
I love him so much.
I know, I do too. But Jensen was so calm, cool, and collective in this. I mean, he was hitting people and doing some nasty, but as soon as that whistle blew, he'd turn around and walk away. There was one time where he got up in somebody's face and started pushing, and then you saw something clicked in him, and he just turned his back on him and walked away. It was great. But remember when, I can't remember, something happened, but you saw Jensen and a guy go onto the Saints sideline.
Yeah,
and there was that big
guy.
tussle. Yeah, that was him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were like that the whole game, man. Whole game. It was great. I loved to see it. And apparently nobody on our offense likes that guy, because everybody was kind of picking on him.
I don't remember seeing him in the first couple of games.
That blonde hair, I remember seeing him, but I think there's a couple of linebackers.
Maybe he was injured, or maybe his hair just wasn't that long at the time.
Yes. Yeah, my first 2 notes are, 1, Bucs talking shit on defense every play, pushing, shoving, getting up in their face. And then my second note was Sean Murphy bunting is all over the place, playing fantastic with great energy. And then I got a note, third quarter at 9:50, their last score. That was the last time they scored, third quarter. We scored 17 unanswered points after that. That was the touchdown to Smith on Cockrell right after Davis got hurt. And it was a great coverage by Cockrell. It was just, there was really nothing you could do. I mean, he literally had his hand on the ball trying to get it out of Smith's hand. So could not knock him for that one. And it was 20-13 at that point. And then we just went on a roll after that. It was the turnovers that really did it. Mm-hmm. So 58 Barrett, he dropped back into coverage one time. That was the touchdown throw by Winston. Nobody else. Yeah, we played a totally different defense than we have all year long. It was great. I loved it. I mean, it was
That's
really.
That's what you got to do with the playoffs.
With the playoffs.
You got to bring out stuff that you've never used before.
Yes. Yep. You were exactly right. And they did. And we did it on offense too. Because I said this to you when we were sitting in the bar. We were running, and I was like, they're lining up the same way for this run. And they never do that. Buccaneers, we do not line up. We do not run the same plays ever, more than once in a play. But we were doing basically the same play. And I was just like, well, they're setting something up here. And they did. And it was awesome. I was just like, woo, I love that stuff, man. That's chess. because we don't do that. We have our set plays that we run. We don't care what you're doing on defense. We're going to do this, but we didn't do that this time. You could see us changing plays according to what they were doing on defense. It was interesting. They weren't expecting that.
So were we setting them up to do something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
we did it quite a few times. We set up plays, which was great. I was like, man,
Well,
this is.
and that's kind of what you have to do against quarterbacks that are so experienced, like Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like kind of trick him or trick him into making playing how you want him to play or doing what you want him to do.
Yes. And they've been watching our film all year long,
Yeah.
and they've been seeing us. We play a lot of zone. We drop our outside linebackers back into coverage a lot. We do 2 deep safeties. We do 1 deep. We disguise things, and we didn't disguise things this time. We didn't drop our outside linebackers into coverage. We totally did stuff we never do before,
Interesting. And I think that'll probably help us against Aaron Rodgers too, who is another
Yeah.
experienced, smart quarterback.
Yeah, they're sitting there going, well, shit, we don't know what they're going to do.
So you're
Obviously.
telling me that they were lining up exactly how they executed the play. Because I know we do a lot of disguises and stuff typically. So
Yep.
they weren't actually disguises
No.
this time is what you're saying.
No, not a lot. Not like we normally do. I mean, normally you can look at our defense before snap,
Yeah.
pre-snap defense, and then post-snap defense, and it's 2 fucking defenses. This time you could look at it pre-snap and pretty much tell what they were doing.
What?
They would play that, but they were expecting us to change.
Yeah, we did.
Right, so we wouldn't during the play, and it screwed them up.
So smart.
It was great. It was great coaching. Our run game was fantastic. It way underrated. Our run game and our defense is what won us to this game. I mean, we were opening up great holes. We were getting positive yardage like just about every time, and it opened up play action for us. And Fournette ran great. Ronald Jones ran great. But our offensive line really did great blocking. It's just like, they don't get enough credit for that. We've been doing it great for the past number of weeks, and we did it again on this one too. And the Saints got a pretty good run defense.
Mm-hmm.
We were opening up huge holes. So, yeah, not like Fournette closed the game out. We had 4 minutes left, I think it was, and we needed a first down to be able to run out the clock.
Mm-hmm.
We ran Fournette 3 times in a row. He got 3 yards, 4 yards, and then 5 yards.
Yes.
First down, and then it was victory formation after
Over.
that. Yeah, and they were stacked the box. We got into run formation. They knew we were going to run it. They tried stopping it. They couldn't do it.
That's something they can do. And that's really impressive against a good run defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
So our run game was pivotal
Dang, it
to our
just
win.
seems like we were just firing on all cylinders. If the receivers would quit dropping balls,
Right,
it
I know.
would not even be close.
Yeah, we had a few missed tackles here, especially for TFLs. But, we had some really good solid tackles, and we didn't have disastrously missed tackles, where they were able to pop off
like 3 in
runs.
one play.
Right. Yeah. So, it seems like we've got that a little bit under control, but our dropped passes, man, it's just I don't get it. I don't get it.
I
7?
don't either, especially with Tom Brady's accuracy.
Right. That's the thing. It seems like it's just too accurate for them. It's like it almost surprises them. It's in their hand. They're like, whoa. And that is a thing with our wide receivers, Evans and Godwin and these guys, they're used to having to get themselves into weird positions to catch the ball, but you don't with Brady. It's
right, but Antonio Brown doesn't have that, so
yeah. Oh my God,
he's having issues too.
He dropped one. It was a screen pass. He swung out to the flats. It was a screen pass. He had 3 blockers in front of him with only 1 defender, and it was a good 40 yards open field. If he would have caught that, the chances are pretty good it would have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
But it would have definitely been 20 yards. There's no doubt about that. I was just like, oh my God, he just dropped it flat out.
Got to be kidding me.
Right in his hands, yeah. It was almost like he was too excited. He was like, oh, this is going to be a touchdown. So there you go. That's what we have. And, I hope that we can carry this forward, this momentum. I hope that our offensive line played great. All the guys did great. Stenny did pretty good. I mean, he had some screwed up plays, but they all did. Every single one of them. Worf's screwed up a couple times. Marpet did. Jensen did. But.
Didn't cost us.
Right. Well, that's a lot of Brady's thing. You mess up his offensive lineman, he's just going to throw the ball. He's going to get it out fast. But yeah, our secondary, our linebackers, defensive line was, they did go okay. Again, they had a series where they just dominated, and then the rest of the game they just basically did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard with Drew Brees. He does not make it easy on the defensive line.
No, he's so damn hard to sack. So, if we can carry this going in, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Okay. So anyhow, that's the Saints game.
Yes.
Going over my notes real quick, make sure there wasn't anything stand out that I am missing. I had a lot of notes on my sheets, but not a lot of notes that I felt were important to talk about for the podcast.
Do you want me to start going through some news?
Yeah, go ahead and hit the news.
All right. Most of this is coaching. The coaching searches going on around the league that I found interesting. Of course, it's that time of year. So, but I'll go through this first. The NFL has announced that the Super Bowl will host 22,000 fans. 7,500 will be vaccinated. They had to throw this in. Vaccinated healthcare workers that they're giving free tickets to the game. I know.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a second.
Okay.
So 22,000 are going to be at the game.
Yes.
So what does Raymond James Stadium hold? 70,000, somewhere in that?
50, 60, most of them do.
So we'll say 20% capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, out of those 22,000, 7,000 are to healthcare workers?
Yeah.
What? You said vaccination? What?
Yeah, vaccinated healthcare workers.
Vaccinated healthcare workers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
They're
a third?
Free tickets, I know.
And these tickets are going for like $20,000 a piece.
Wouldn't you just sell your ticket?
Yes. No, I wouldn't because I like the Bucs. But if I didn't like the Bucs,
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. It was
That's...
like, how are they selecting those people? And
so that only leaves 14,000.
They're gonna sell
21.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
I know. Might make a career switch real quick. Only kidding. Couldn't do it. Okay, so coaching searches around the league. The Rams are hiring Raheem Morris as defensive coordinator, which I just find absolutely ridiculous because everywhere he's gone, the defense has been trash. Like, why is he just this coveted defensive coordinator? I do not understand.
So that's the Rams, huh?
Yeah. Which I'm not really sure what happened to their defensive coordinator. And another former Buccaneers coach, Dirk Cutter, has announced his retirement.
Yes, I saw that. Very sad. He's so young to be retiring. Well, good Lord, he's in his 50s.
Early college. I don't know. I mean, wouldn't you retire too if you had made head coaching money?
I don't know. It just seems like, I mean, he really is an offensive guru. He schemes players open better than any coach in the league, if you ask me. It's one of the things that used to drive me crazy about Jameis Winston is he just wouldn't see these open receivers that Cutter would scheme open. You know, it was just like, here's a guy wide open in the end zone, and you're throwing, some crazy ball to the sideline on an out route. It's like, well, what are you doing? But yeah, I mean, he did it to us. The Atlanta game. He just schemed guys open. It's very hard to do that in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine these guys get so burnt out, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a grind, and especially, he had the Bucs tenure, which was just 3 years, and then Atlanta, he was only there 2 or 3 there. I'm sure it just becomes a lot to be moving your family and, to keep having to go new places, and unfortunately the nature of the business is that it's very hard to succeed there. So I can imagine where you would just get over it and just ready to be done.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand it too, but it might be one of those things where it's he'll come back.
Yeah, probably. Probably for the right opportunity, like someone that he's friends with, or something like that.
Yeah. Because these coaches. He's been coaching for what, 35 years?
Yeah, like since the 80s.
Yeah, all of these coaches have been. That's what they've done their whole life, and it's not like they spend 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. This is what they do. They live, eat, breathe this stuff. They're watching film, they're developing schemes, and Cutter's definitely that guy. To me, he's more like a desk job, a clipboard holder is what we call him. Where he's much more into the scheming up stuff than he is the rah and the personnel type stuff. So he'll probably never make a great head coach, but offensive coordinator, he's the top of the list if you ask me. So I think the NFL is losing something there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
He could be back.
He will.
Yeah.
He'll probably take a couple years off.
Right.
He just signed with Atlanta, a year ago?
I think 2 or 3.
2 years ago, yeah. And he probably got a 5-year contract with them, so he's just going to live off that money for a couple years. Mm-hmm. Might even go coach to high school or college.
Yeah.
That's taking a break for football coaches. You go coach, high school or college for a while and then come back. But yeah, he's too young. He'll come back. And it was a tough year for the Falcons. Mm-hmm. And the whole team is, going to be gone. It's going to be a whole totally different team. And, that probably affected him mentally and emotionally. And, he's just like, he's distraught. He'll get over it in a year. He'll come back. Hopefully. Hopefully. I like Dirk.
Another former Buccaneer. This one's crazy to me. I can't believe this. The Texans interviewed Josh McCown for their head coaching vacancy. Thank you.
The quarterback?
Yes. And oddly enough, he is still under contract as a quarterback by the team. Like, what are you fucking doing? Is Bill O'Brien still leading this shit? Because this just makes no sense.
You never know, he might be a great coach.
He could be. Man. He wasn't a good quarterback, so
he had the grit though. He was tough.
Yeah. Those who can't do teach.
Oh,
so
man.
that one
that's a funny one.
Yeah, I know. I saw that and I was like, what? Well, he's so young too. I don't know. And it just seems like a huge leap from being a quarterback to jumping into a head coaching role. Like, to me, you do what BA does with all these former players is, have them be assistants, have them be position coaches, and then you kind of move up that way. It just seems like a huge... But they also interviewed Jim Caldwell. So they're kind of going both ends of the experience spectrum. Yeah. No experience to years of experience. So
none of it is good experience. Either one of them.
Wait, Caldwell was with the Colts, right? When they did pretty good. I
don't remember.
What's his face? Peyton Manning.
Did you see that coach for the new coach for the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, remember he's the one I was talking about from the Dolphins when I think Philbin got fired. He took over as an interim head coach, and then he's been the tight end coach at New Orleans.
He's the kind of coach I like. Just that old style, tough mentality. So it'll be fun to watch him with Detroit. Who knows if we'll even last? Those type of coaches are gone. There's the players they've got too much power now. They don't want to. There's very few players that really want to be out there busting their butts all the time. And I'm not putting the players down, but you give me a choice between going out there and running 2-a-days or sitting in the house playing Xbox. I'm going to sit in the house play Xbox. It's not going to make you better, but
that's probably why you're not in the NFL, Ralph.
That is the sole reason, only reason.
You could have been a kicker.
I could be a kicker, man.
So like Drew Brees'
so it'll be interesting to see because he's old school and he's not apparently.
But he's young too.
Yeah,
he's old school but young.
Yeah,
not like these pretty boy like the Sean McVay and the other one, the Matt LaFleur,
the GQ cover models.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about Matt LaFleur in a second because I don't get it. I have 2 more things. Speaking of the Falcons, they are expected to hire, and I don't know if I'm saying this wrong. I hope to God I am, but this is how it's spelled. Dean Pease as defensive coordinator. Like,
he pees.
He urinates, yes.
Yeah.
Pease. That's how it's spelled. That is unfortunate.
I'm sure he's used to it by now.
Probably.
Grade school was probably the worst time of his life.
Well, if that's who they hire, I'm looking forward to that. The trash talk. And then they're also expected to hire Dave Ragone as offensive coordinator.
Ragone.
I like that. And then this is the last one. This has no connection to the Buccaneers whatsoever. Or maybe, I don't know, he might have coached there, but it was just somebody that I recognize. So I thought I would bring it up. Vikings offensive coordinator / assistant head coach Gary Kubiak is officially retiring from the NFL. Yeah.
He's the Vikings assistant?
Yeah, assistant head coach and offensive coordinator.
Ooh, man.
Yeah. So.
That's crazy.
I know. And you kind of wonder, like, was that his choice? Or was it you retire or we're going to fire you?
Yeah. Well,
they did not do that well.
No, they were a dumpster fire this year.
Yeah.
Devin White has 19 tackles for a loss or no gain this season. He is leading the league.
Yes. And he missed a game.
And he missed games, yeah. Yeah. Now that's normally Levante David's.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his thing.
Yeah.
These young Bucs passing the torch.
Yeah. Levante David played good.
The Saints?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, made some great tackles, man. Just the old school plant your feet, put your shoulder in their gut.
He's so good at that.
Tackle through them tackles. I loved it.
The one, like the pad cracking tackles, like you hear it on the broadcast.
Yes. Love it. Miss those days. Miss those kind of tackles. Actually, we had quite a few of it on our defense. Looked like these guys were bound and determined not to. I think they were bound and determined to put these guys in the dirt.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they probably all practiced for Deontay Harris, that little shifty, fast mother, and they were ready for him, even though he didn't play. I know. Even
though he got 2 really long run backs on us.
I know. Special teams, but
yeah,
whatever.
All right, so we got the Packers coming up.
Yeah.
And some of the other podcasters have decided that no cheese this week. And I screwed up and ate cheese on a sandwich yesterday. I wasn't even thinking about it. We went to Chick-fil-A. I always get the deluxe with bacon. And they said, is American cheese okay? And I was thinking about something else. I was like, yeah, it's fine.
I'm not willing to make that sacrifice.
Well, you love your cheese.
I just love food. I made lasagna too, and quiche. And, there's cheese in everything.
Oh, cheese and everything.
I didn't think about it.
But, I was thinking sliced cheese.
Oh, that's what you were. That was the level you were willing to sacrifice. These guys are probably vegan at this point, and you're like, I won't eat a Kraft single.
Yeah, right. I'm taking one for the team here.
Yeah, doing your part.
So we're going to Lambeau Field, which, is very iconic field to play in. It's old. It's as old school as you can get, and I think they're going to have fans in the stadium, not at full capacity, but again around 20,000.
No, it's hold on a second. I want to say it's 6,500. It's not a lot.
Oh, they're still. I thought they were for this game. They were opening it up some more.
Yeah, I have in my notes 6,500 fans will be in attendance.
No, well, that's nothing. Yeah, so that's not going to help them. You know, the crowd is not going to be a factor in this game.
Yeah, like last week when they played the Rams, one of the dudes did the Lambeau leap. There was nobody there to help him up. He had to get his teammate, pick him up, put him on the side.
And they did beat the mess out of the Rams.
Okay, yeah.
But the Rams, they were hurting. They had players out on the.
Well, Andrew Whitworth, their left tackle, he got hurt at the end of last season in November, and he had just come back. He came back in the Seattle game the first week, and then the second week, it was his first day back. Not his first day back. It was his second game back against Green Bay. And so, the Packer, and I'm not saying that it's Whitworth's fault, but after he got injured during the season, they started allowing a lot of sacks compared to when he was in. So I think it did have an impact. And him coming back from IR, he's maybe not necessarily 100%.
Yeah.
So they got 4 sacks on Jared Goff, and they were just rattling him. Like, he did not play well. He just looked, they just kind of beat the crap out of him the whole game. So there was that.
We have a secret weapon coming back, and it's Vita Vea.
That is the first thing in my notes.
Oh my gosh.
And it's in all caps and a lot of exclamation points.
I was watching footage of him hitting a sled, I was like, oh man, he's back.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was taking it light either. He was hitting the damn thing. I was like, oh my gosh. Yes. I did not expect this at all.
Me neither. And neither did the media, apparently, because they were all pissy that the NFL covered Peter Schlager, I don't know how to say it. I think he tweeted it first that he was coming back. And BA had asked him like 2 hours before that in the press conference, and he was like, I don't know, he might be or he might not be. And then the national media had it. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, if Vita Vea comes back, and even if he plays, normally he plays 70% of the snaps, 70 around in that area. Him and Sue normally are between 65 and 80%, depending. If he comes back and he plays half of that, if he does 40% of the snaps, 30% of the snaps, this could be a huge factor. Huge, especially in the run game.
BA was saying it would be like 20 snaps maybe.
20 snaps out of 60, yeah. So,
Well, and that's what they 30%. The Packers really killed the Rams last week in rushing.
Right, yeah.
And they rushed right up the gut. And they had 188 yards rushing total. Yeah. Aaron Jones got 99. They're not going to do that against us. No. It's not happening. No. Even with Vita out. Like,
right.
They're not getting that much. And so I think that was one of the major differences in that game. And on the other side of the ball, the Rams had a pretty good day rushing too. Cam Akers had 90 yards and a touchdown. So I feel pretty confident that we can win that battle.
Yeah. Yeah. With Vita Vea, you look at our football team right now and compare it to the teams that are left. We are the best football team. No question about it. I mean, we've got a great running game. We've got great receivers when they can catch the ball. We got great coaching. We got a great offensive line. We got a great defensive line. We got great linebackers. We got our secondaries on fire. Yeah, there's no other team that could say that. We are above average at every level, except, our special teams tackling and blocking. But, it's like there's no other team that can compete. Now, you bring Vita Vea back, there's nobody Yeah, it's ridiculous how, I mean, we're just going to curb stomp everybody from here on out. If he plays 30% of the plays this weekend, then there's no doubt we're going to win. And if he comes back in the Super Bowl and plays 50%, 60% of the plays, there's nobody in the league that can stop that man. And that's just going to free everybody else up. You remember how dominant we were in defense at the beginning of the year with him? And then he gets out and we slowly started getting worse. We played great last week defensively. A lot of that was due to Drew Brees now. And I'm not trying to take this away from our defense. Our defense played great.
They came ready to play.
Yes.
And they made plays when we needed them.
And they were ready to drive people in the dirt. They were hitting hard. They were just out. They had a lot of energy. So not taking anything away from them, but when you got Vita Vea, covering that middle, and you got Sue in that middle, that just frees it inside linebackers to do whatever they want to do. They don't have to worry about anybody running up the middle for dang sure. And plus the pressure that Vita gets on quarterbacks so quick.
And
it's just going to be ridiculous.
The Packers lost their left tackle in week 16.
Oh, really?
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, their left tackle, David Bakhtiari,
that's right. Yeah. Yes, I remember that.
He had an ACL tear in week 16. Mm-hmm. And then, so they've got Billy Turner playing in his place, and Turner played right guard last year for the team. Yeah. And
he was pretty bad.
Yeah, and apparently got replaced, lost his job this season.
Ooh.
And yeah.
Well, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who we put over there, JPP or Barrett.
Right. And, but Aaron Rodgers didn't get sacked last week by the Rams.
Aaron Rodgers, again, he's hard to sack. He's like Drew Brees. It's like if you get pressure on him, he's going to throw it. We did to 4 times? Yeah. So hopefully we can repeat that.
I know.
Or something. Yeah, we intercepted him twice. One was a pick six, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we got 4 sacks, and then we hit him 12 times. So we just beat the shit out of him. Yeah. And they ended up pulling him at one point, and they put in their backup. I think we sacked him too.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's not going to happen this week, probably. Maybe. Yeah, I know.
Man,
I know.
They're a different team. We're a different team. We're better. Yeah. But they play a little bit different now. But from what I saw, like you said, they do a lot of running. Especially that power running straight up the middle, and
that's not going to happen.
They do a crap ton of RPOs, and the RPOs killed us with the Chiefs. We had no defense against it. It looked like we didn't even try, and we're going to have to come up with something. And if we get Vita back, that'll free up our linebackers to stop those RPOs, and that'll be great. I'm super excited about getting Vita back. Super excited.
I cannot wait.
Especially if he goes out there and he's not, he's in game ready shape.
I will say, remember when he came back from his calf injury last season, and it did take him a few games to kind of get back in.
That was his first season, right?
No. Well, no, I don't think so. He was injured both seasons that he's played. He had injuries early and then came in, and then it kind of took him a little bit to get adjusted. Yeah. But even still, Vita at 60%, I will take any day.
Yeah. I'm excited about the number of reps. Like I said, when I saw him running and hitting the sled and everything, I was like, wow, you can't even tell this guy just had a broken ankle. He was out there hitting and running. And
aren't fractures easier to come back from than like a ligament tear? That's what I've always heard.
Sure.
Okay.
I guess.
Who knows?
So that's super exciting, man. Super exciting. Hey, he's like my favorite player. He's just so much fun to watch on film. I've never watched anybody that's as fun as him. Aaron Donald. You watch him and just the strength and the power, the speed. You're like, wow, this is incredible. But the Vita's got something that's just it's just like almost every play, just the way he just tosses guys, and you just see how much they struggle with him. You know,
it's so strong.
Yeah, just in his center of gravity is so low. You know, he can take hits from the side or double teams, and he's just like eh.
It doesn't faze him.
Yeah. Well, that's super exciting, man. And plus, when he bull rushes or decides he's going to get to the quarterback, you've got 2.5 seconds because he's going to get there. You ain't going to stop him. So that's super exciting, man. If we could get him in early and
gets it
frazzle Aaron Rodgers because he gets frazzled. Rodgers gets frazzled.
He's
quick.
Emotional.
Mm-hmm.
He's so emotional. He's such a pissy bitch.
Yeah. And
it's just so easy to get him at. And remember the last time him and Sue kept going at it? And
yes.
Sue was like talking shit to him. Can you imagine Sue getting Vita back and being able to just the two of them together?
Yeah. Let's go meet at the quarterback.
So, everyone's been talking about how good the Packers have been playing the last 6 weeks, and I want to address
Break it down. Tell us why they're wrong, Molly.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, they played really shitty teams.
Right, just like the Washington football team.
They've played the Bears twice, the Lions, Eagles, Panthers, and the Titans. So the only winning team they played then was the Titans.
And they beat the mess out of them.
Yeah, they did beat the shit out of the Titans. It was like 41-14. It was just absurd. So you could make the argument that, they beat the crap out of the bad teams, and then they also beat the crap out of the good teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see where you could make that case. But again, we have to remember the quality of your opponent matters. And to say, Aaron Rodgers is playing lights out, well, yeah, he is, but he played really crappy teams. So, I mean, I do think that it diminishes that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're going to have to be on our P's and Q's. Of course, you can say that about every game, but those damn RPOs, man. And I mean, I don't want to say they run RPOs exclusively, but they do it a lot. And when the Kansas City Chiefs played us, they did a lot of RPOs, and they just burned us with that crap. We had no answer. It was so discouraging to watch it because you knew it was coming, and we didn't even try to stop it. It was basically we just tried to tackle them after they caught the ball or whatever, and it was just like, oh man.
So did the Packers not do that when we played them the first time?
Mm-mm. No, they've changed up. They ran it a couple times with us, but now they're just doing it crazy.
Oh, constantly.
Yeah. What's that Shanahan offense? The Shanahan tree. There's probably a name for it, but LaFleur he's from the Shanahan tree, and they're offensive people, and then the RPOs, and they're really the ones that brought it in the league, and the LaFleur just seems like he's just embraced it, and Aaron Rodgers is really embraced it because Aaron Rodgers, his whole thing used to be kind of like Roethlisberger. It was those broken plays that really he would capitalize on. Mm-hmm. You'd flush him out of the pocket, he'd run bootleg over to the right and zig it down the field 50 yards to an open receiver, or he'd run it for 20 yards or whatever. He's not doing that near as much now. He's really standing in the pocket, doing these 3-step drops and zinging it, and not really relying on his innate physical abilities like he used to.
Now, when I watched the Rams game, and tell me if you noticed this or not, it looked to me like the Rams were playing a lot of zone defense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because Aaron Rodgers just destroyed them in the seams. Like every time he throws the middle of the field, there were 3 guys kind of around, but not anywhere close. I mean, the dude would kind of get tackled, but they were still picking up first downs like it was nothing.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers is crazy accurate.
Yeah.
He's not going to throw a whole lot of bad balls. And, intercepting him was hard. That's why we got 2 last game. I wouldn't count on that this game.
Yeah.
But, it wouldn't surprise me if we did, too, because we're awesome. But, he just generally makes good decisions. He's got a rocket arm, fast release.
Yeah, and he's got some good receivers, too. He's got Devontae Adams and then that Lazard. Scott Smith, in his preview, he wrote, I'm going to read a little bit from his piece. Davante Adams was the NFL's most unstoppable receiver in 2020. He has caught at least 6 passes in all but one game so far this year, including the playoffs, and incredibly, he has scored in 14 of the Packers' 17 games.
Who? Lazard?
No, Davante Adams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He
I was going
finished.
to say Lazard was out like half the season.
No. He finished the season with 115 catches for 1,370 yards and 18 touchdowns. That's just ridiculous. And the last total leading the league, the 18 touchdowns, all while missing 2.5 games. So, we got a stud receiver here.
Yeah, and a lot of it's yards after the catch.
Mm-hmm.
Brady or Aaron Rodgers is like Brady. He likes to throw the ball very accurately so these guys can just keep going with it once they get it. Very, very big factor in their game.
Well, so that's where our tackling is going to come in.
Yeah.
But
and no
also,
busted coverages. We got to make sure we don't. If we play, that's the danger of playing man coverage. Now, I love man coverage. Mainly because I'm selfish and it makes it so much easier when I'm watching game film to tell who screwed up. But, we played a lot of man coverage and so did the Saints. It was very interesting. We both played similar defenses. But on man coverage, if you screw up, that's an open receiver. Whereas zone coverage, if you screw up, there might not be a receiver in your zone. So, it's like no harm, no foul. But you screw up on man coverage, you trip, you fall, you cover the wrong guy, something like that. That's an open receiver that, you have to really be on your P's and Q's when you play man coverage. Honestly, I don't know what would be best with Rodgers, because zone coverage has got a lot of benefits to it. It's better for run stopping. Man coverage is horrible for run stopping, because you can have the receivers run down the field a bit. Next thing you know, you got your whole secondary's down the field. There's nobody there to stop the run.
Yeah.
With zone, they're all turned around, basically looking at the play happen. They can see if it's going to be a run. They can run up and stop it. So, they both have their advantages and disadvantages. And honestly, I think this game, playing a good mix, more heavily zone might work out better because they're such a good running team. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't have an answer for this, and it's going to be so entertaining to see what our defensive coordinator is going to pull up because he did a great job last week. He really did.
In Scott Smith's piece, he was talking about Carlton Davis. He does in every
it's like
preview.
A bass. Boom.
Sorry. In every preview, he does like the key matchups. And so Davante Adams and Carlton Davis was one of these key matchups. And he said about Carlton Davis that he allowed just 1 reception for 16 yards against New Orleans. And receivers could only get 1.1 yard of average separation from him when they were targeted with him in coverage.
Yeah,
so
our guys stuck to their receivers last week. It was really good in man coverage. Like I said, the only time they had open receivers was when we had blown coverage. I think that happened 3 times. And twice, Brees didn't even see it. So
yeah, we had 8 pass breakups.
Dang.
Against Drew.
What'd they call them? Our infants? The toddlers. The toddlers in the secondary. Man, they were pissed about that.
I know.
Don't blame them.
So salty. Yeah. So, and then you got to worry about Rodgers. He threw 74 deep passes in 2020, which was the second most in the league. And he completed 31, which was the most in the league.
He's got to go.
So, and on those passes, he had 12 touchdowns and no interceptions. So.
Wow.
I know. Well, I'd love to pick one of those off. Like, lull him into a false sense of confidence.
I'll say that he's got huge confidence.
Yeah.
And he will throw some dumb throws. He really will. And a lot of times he'll go for the deep shot when he's got a better guy underneath because he just wants to get that deep shot in there. So, we got an opportunity though. That's a good point. It'd be nice to see Winfield get a touchdown or an interception or Whitehead. I'd like to see Whitehead get one. Man, this is going to be an exciting game.
I know.
It's going to be so nerve-wracking. Is it still supposed to snow?
I don't know. I haven't seen. Okay, let's talk about the snow because everyone's mentioning that. I feel like, because I hate the cold. I hate it so much. I just hate it. Where we live, it's not, we don't get a lot of snow.
No. Once a year, maybe
to
we'll
me,
get
but it's
dusting.
still cold to me. Like now it's like in the 40s, like right now. And I can't handle it. It's too cold. I think a few years ago, our winter was really cold and we were getting in like the teens regularly. And I was just absolutely miserable. But so everyone's kind of making a big deal about the weather. And I think the team is trying to poo-poo it.
Mindset.
That's
their mantra.
Exactly.
They are, every time they talk about it, they're like, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. It's a mindset.
I know.
They're trying to talk themselves out of the fact that they're not going to be freezing up there.
Well, in 2002, when we broke the streak of never having won in less than 32 degrees, that was the last time we've done it. So between...
Are you serious?
Yeah. So between 2003 to 2019, we have not won a game below 40 degrees until this year. So this year, now granted, from 2003 to 2019, we sucked.
Yeah. You can't. Yeah.
But we only played 4 of those games in that period.
Yeah.
And so you're like,
it's a rare thing.
We're not.
Yeah. Snow games are real rare. But, that's where Tom Brady became famous. Snow game, against the Raiders. Mm-hmm. The Raiders.
This year we played twice in less than 40 degree weather. And that was, can you guess where it was?
Washington and Chicago.
No.
Who do we play between the Vikings? No, they were in a dome. No, I don't know.
Okay,
do I
get
one more
Giants.
guess? Giants. Ah.
So, and we won both of those. So
there you go.
Football math, baby. We got this.
Now, how about this for football math? Okay, we beat the Packers, but the Packers beat the Rams. The Rams beat us.
How does that work?
So
calculus. That's football calculus. I haven't made it up for you. Okay, but you know what? They have lost 3 of 4 conference championship games under Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, okay.
He's only won once.
That's right.
But on the other hand, and this is the first time they've played a championship game at Lambeau. Never done that.
They've never done that with Rodgers there?
No.
Really?
But he has a career 108.5 passer rating at Lambeau Field, and they are 8-1 at home this season. Yeah.
Well,
we are phenomenal on the road. So does that cancel out?
Right.
Right. Football math. I don't know.
So they were 13-3 last year, made it to the NFC Championship, got beat by the 49ers, right?
Yes.
The 49ers.
Yes. But they lost at San Francisco.
Right. And so they're 13-3 this year, NFC Championship. Now, if you think that the last year's 49er teams are better than this year's Buccaneers teams, and now if we win this, it will be a simply amazing feat, because you got Tom Brady, changed everything. He's been playing basically the same system with the same coach for 20 years. He comes here, totally different system, totally different language, and we go to the Super Bowl with this. Man, that is a huge accomplishment.
Are you worried about Pat Mahomes or what's his face in Buffalo? What's his name? Josh Allen?
No, I'm not worried about Buffalo at all.
No, me neither.
Kansas City, you always got to worry about them because they're just so tricky. But
we played them close the first time.
Yeah, we played them
close. And they're not blowing people out like they were.
Right.
I think the league got them figured out.
And I think if we can stop these RPOs with Roger, we could definitely do it with Kansas City. They're kind of the same team, really. Kansas City's a lot more trickier. They do a lot of just weird stuff on offense. But, as far as the deep threat, the run and attack, all that stuff, they're kind of the same team offensively. And So, if we could beat Packers, I don't think Kansas City will be that difficult. And I'd love to see the Bills beat Kansas City.
Me too. I would love.
Because I want to see Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. The Bills have been beat by Tom Brady for 20 years.
Mm-hmm. They
Then
finally
go to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady beats. That would be so
Would
classic.
you? Oh my gosh. I would just hate.
That would be
hate
5
them.
Super Bowls that they've lost. They have never won a Super Bowl, I don't think. And they've gone 4 times. They went 4 times in a row and lost. This will be 5 times.
Wow.
Yeah. So that'd be a great storyline there. I think that'd be a better storyline than. But see, here we are. We're talking about that.
I know we're going too far.
We're skipping over the Packers, man. Coach, sorry.
Well, and I think another thing with the Rams, like how the Packers beat the Rams last week was they got to Goff a lot. And that is not happening with us. Like they're not getting past our offensive line.
Well, and even if they do, Brady can handle that.
Yeah.
He's just very hard to tackle.
Yeah, Goff was so frazzled.
Yeah. But we say this, like Brady's just going to do it, but every quarterback has their off days, but this we have just way too many elite players, great coaches, everything. Even if Brady doesn't play well, we can still win this. Yeah. I think so.
We were talking about turnovers earlier. We are now at a plus 12.
Whoa.
In turnover ratio. But they are, the Packers are at a plus 7. So, kind of close.
Yeah, 7, 8, they're 5 down.
Yeah. But theirs were not interceptions, they were fumbles. So.
Right, yeah. Aaron Rodgers just does not throw interceptions.
Yeah. And we are 10-0 when we win the turnover battle.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. Man, we have some great turnovers. That Devin White interception was so beautiful. Amazing. And then Devontae David batting the pass up, like Edwards catching it, and then Jamal Dean's interception was beautiful. Oh, man. And then SMB's interception, or Winfield punching the ball out right into Devin White, bounced right up into Devin White's hands.
I mean, if the defense plays like this, there's no question. It's going to be it's going to be us.
No doubt about it.
We're going to do it. All right. I have just a little side note. I watched the mic'd up from last week, from the whole league, and Aaron Rodgers was mic'd up, and there was
he crying, whining about stuff?
No, it's worse. It's so much worse. That Matt LaFleur is such a beta. Like, I do not understand how he is an NFL coach. Like, I don't know how they respect. I don't think they do. Like, I don't know. It's first of all, he looks like a model. So and that's the same thing with Sean McVay. I do not get it. I don't get it. How do you get the respect of these guys?
Yeah, I know you should have like scars and missing teeth and stuff,
It's just the sport is like peak masculinity, and you have a bunch of soy boys that are it's sport, it's competition, it's testosterone, and then you have these beta males on I don't get it, but
well, that's always been a thing with me and coaches, like even Bruce Arians, it's like, how can you have these coaches that are so out of shape?
I know. Andy Reid.
Yes. Well, what you cracked me up when you were talking about Bruce Arians at the game. He said he's wearing a maternity dress and a fanny pack. And once you said that, I could not see it, man. It looked like a maternity dress and a fanny pack. I was like, man.
He was looking rough on the sideline.
Yeah. So,
he was looking rough.
And after the after-game conference, I was really worried about him. I was like, man, he looks bad. But it must have been the lighting. Or something.
Probably. Well, I think he's got a lot of red undertones anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway,
alcohol.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna go through the injury report and then we can wrap it up.
All right, do it fast.
All right, Antonio Brown, he is out, not playing.
He's not playing?
No, you didn't know that?
No.
No, they're worried about with the plane ride, his swelling. I guess the same shit with Rojo. I don't. That they did with Rojo last week. So.
Interesting. So that means Scotty will be out there.
Yeah, it's good.
Scotty Miller and Johnson.
Yeah.
I like both of them, man. And Johnson made great catch.
Yeah.
Great catch.
The Bucs social media keeps replaying that catch.
Good.
Because it's awesome. And from all the different angles.
There were so many plays in this game where I went, this was the play that sealed the game. And then a few plays later, I'd be like, nope, this was the play that sealed the game. But that one there, that was a 3rd and 11. And he caught that. And it was just like, oh, we got this. But yeah.
We got it. Okay. Winfield got hurt apparently in practice Thursday, I guess. Because he did not practice Friday and he is questionable.
What's the injury?
Ankle.
Shit.
Mike Evans with his knee injury was limited all week. He's fine. Chris Godwin with a quad injury. He's limited all week. He's going to play. Ronald Jones with the quad and the finger. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday and then was a full participant on Friday. So he's good to go. Jeremiah Ledbetter returned to practice this week with the calf injury, and he was a full participant all week.
Wow, man, we've got our whole defensive line back.
Yeah. Ali Marpet has a pec injury, but was a full participant all week. Sean Murphy Bunting has a quad/ankle injury, and he was limited Wednesday and Thursday, but a full participant on Friday. JPP with his knee, his knee, he's listed with the knee injury and then / not injury related, and he did not practice all week, but he doesn't.
Right. Yeah. You don't need to practice.
Sue had his Veterans Day off on Friday, so he's fine. And then Jordan Whitehead had a knee injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday, but a full participant on Friday.
Okay. You had me scared there for a second. I was like, Winfield and Whitehead are going to be out? Oh, my God. No, that'd be disastrous.
Yeah. I haven't heard any more about
So Antonio Brown's the only one that's out for sure.
Correct.
That's a shame.
And then Winfield's listed as questionable, so I don't know. We'll see. On the Packers side, they've got like as many guys as we do, I think. Maybe a little bit more. Defensive lineman Kingsley Kiki has a concussion. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday and then did not participate Friday, so he is out. And then cornerback Kevin King has a back injury. He did not participate Friday and he is questionable.
He's a starter.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Linebacker Chris Barnes has a thumb injury. He was limited all week. Their kicker.
He's a backup rookie.
Okay. So. Kicker Mason Crosby has a shoulder injury. He was limited all week.
Ooh.
You don't need your shoulder to kick a ball, so unless you're Matt Gay and you're doing a little shooting. Running back AJ Dillon has a quad injury. He was limited all week. Wide receiver Alan Lazard. Is it Lazard or Lazard?
Good question. Do not know.
Lazard. He has a wrist/back injury. He was limited all week. Tight end Mercedes Lewis has a knee injury. He was limited Wednesday, did not participate Thursday, and then was a full participant on Friday. Safety Will Redmond has a knee injury. He was a full participant Wednesday, but then was limited Thursday and Friday. Linebacker Zadarius Smith has a thumb injury. He was limited all week. Oh my good Lord, I cannot read this. Wide receiver Equanimous St. Brown.
Equanimous. Yeah.
That's interesting. Has a knee/ankle injury. He was limited all week. Tackle Rick Wagner has a knee injury. He was limited all week. And then...
Whoa, wait a minute. Rick Wagner?
Yes. Is he a starter?
Yeah, he's starting for Bactiera.
No, that's Turner, Billy Turner.
So wait a minute. Okay. Bactiera is their left tackle.
Yes.
Turner plays right tackle. Ricky Wagner plays left tackle.
That's not.
Pretty sure.
That's not.
I don't know.
Scott
There's such
Smith
common
said.
names. I
know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's got a knee injury. And then Jamal Adams, our running back, has an ankle injury. He was limited all week.
So they're banged up a little bit.
Everybody's banged up. It's that time of year, I think. Oh, and when we brought when we brought Vita back, we cut Earl Wadford to make room. Like we just
Poor
signed
Earl.
him. I know,
Yeah.
poor Earl. Like he probably just drove the Tesla to Tampa. He probably just pulled up, and they were like, "Never mind."
The Tesla. Oh man, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, he gets money for that. So
Well, that's true. They probably paid his moving expenses or whatever. All right, you want to do score predictions and then
yes.
we'll wrap it up? What you got?
You know, I'm going with. You know, I really want to say. Like 31-17 us, right?
Okay.
I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But I could, you know, last week I said it was going to be a shootout, and our defense just stepped up and shut that down. I don't know if they're going to do that this week, but gosh, with Vita back, you know, but he's not going to be playing all the time. Oh man, see, this is a tough one.
I feel like I'm watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You want to find a friend? Should we poll the audience? What are we doing?
Okay, I'm going to go with. I'm going to give us 35.
Okay.
Give them 27.
I like it. They put up 32 against the Rams. Held the Rams to 18. I don't think they're going to do that to us. I am going to say, gosh, Ralph, I really like that score. I'm going to say 32.
Wait, 32 or 32?
32. Like, that's how old I am.
Okay.
And
Damn, time to trade you in for a younger model. Good Lord.
I know, I'll be 33 in a couple months.
Get your AARP card in the mail.
I had to think about it the other day, how old I was.
That's
how
what
old I was
happens.
turning.
See?
I know.
You used to mock me about that all the time. I'm like, no, you get to a point where you don't really want to think about it.
I just don't care anymore. They all run together. Okay, 32 to, I'm going to go 29. Yeah,
Ooh.
that's a little closer than I had.
3 points, huh?
Yeah, sure. All right.
All right, there you go. Taking a risk with that one. I like that one. I thought last week was going to be, you know, a shootout and a close game, but you know, we wrapped that up basically in the third quarter.
You know, I don't like that as much. I don't like my score prediction. But that's all right. I'm going to just stick with it.
Just stick with it.
Just go with it.
Yeah, just go with it. So, you know, we don't know how this is going to turn out. I have a lot of confidence that we're going to win. But again, it's going to be at Lambeau. It's going to be at Lambeau in the snow, maybe. You know, that's tough. That's going to be tough to play. But we got a lot of guys that are used to playing that. Tom Brady being one.
Mm-hmm.
And
Gronk.
And you know, they play a style of offense that we have seen that we have difficulty with. So, you know, it's not something we encounter a lot. So it's going to be interesting. I think we got it, though. I think we got it. I think we're going to win this. And I want to have that same feeling I had when Rondé Barber intercepted Donovan McNabb. And he was running down the field. And I said, we're going to the Super Bowl. I want to feel that again. I want to have that moment where I know it. Like I turned to you at 7 minutes, 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and I said, we're going to the NFC Championship. You didn't believe me. You were like, oh, there's still plenty of time left.
Well, I was trying to temper my expectations because I did not want to fall. Like, that is so far to fall when you're like, yes, we're going, and then, bing,
like the Saints fans. What
yeah,
happened with
exactly.
them? You know, they were all like,
I didn't want to
"Woo."
be the Saints fans.
Yeah. Yeah, they had us up 20-13 in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They had it.
Mm-hmm.
They were moving down the field. All right, so we got this, man. We got this. And, you know, Molly and I, as far as I know, we're not getting divorced, so that's all
good.
cool.
We're good.
Yeah. But
The enthusiasm is back.
If we lose this game, we might, though, you know. Be like, I'm going to blame it on you. So
pack your ass up. You're the one that made me like this stupid team.
What do you say? Our daughter has been walking around saying
Oh my
that
God.
she doesn't like the Buccaneers. And
She
what
likes
is it?
the Redskins.
Yes, and I'm like, oh.
And I told her we're going to put her up for adoption.
Yeah, no, I told her flat out. I said, I'm going to open the door and put you outside and shut the door. And I'll throw your stuff out there too. And you know what she told me? She's got a friend that lives right down the street. She was like, well, I'll just go down to Claire's house and live with them.
You know what?
I'm
She
so
did that to me during the lockdowns. You know, we weren't going anywhere, and we were especially not taking her anywhere. So I had to go grocery shopping, and she really wanted to go. I mean, she had the worst cabin fever, and I was like, no, you cannot go with me. I'm
she's
sorry.
a really sociable kid.
So she was having a rough time, and I was like, I'm sorry, you just can't go with me. And she was like, well, you can just leave me in the car. And, you know, like in the grocery store parking lot. And I was like, no, I can't. And she was like, well, why not? And I was like, well, because someone else will call the police on me. And she said, well, then what happens? Like, what happens to me? And I said, well, you'd go to a new family. And she went,
It's like,
would I go to Adeline's house? Like Adeline's family?
Do I get to
like
pick
she was
the
weighing the
family?
options there.
Yeah, that hurts, don't it? You're like, wait a minute.
You know,
You're willing to risk leaving us as a family just to go to
and me
the
going to
grocery
jail.
store.
She was just gonna. She don't care.
All right, guys,
So,
we got to wrap this up. This one's been way too long.
we're
but-
making up for last episode. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. We use that. And of course, we waited till last minute to get this one out too. Well, you know, it's not true. We didn't wait till tomorrow to do it.
No, yeah. This
So,
is good.
that's
This
good.
is about on schedule.
We'll get a few listens in on this. Hopefully, make everybody feel better about what's getting ready to happen and get you riled up. Ooh, we need that positive
Oh gosh,
energy.
I'm so excited. I feel like if we can get through the Saints, we can get through anybody.
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
worried
That's how I
about
felt.
this.
That was the big game to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Saints are a much tougher team than the Packers are, I think. So they're just a different team. We're used to the Saints. We know how to play them. Well, actually, we don't, but we did. We learned how to play them. Packers, different beast. They're a different team than they were when we played them. We're a different team than they played us. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting, and it's going to be held in the most iconic stadium in the league. So,
I think Aaron Rodgers really wants vengeance. He's gonna be trying hard on this one.
yeah. Right. But hey, if we could frazzle him early, we got this game wrapped up.
And we got Vita back.
Got Vita back. Give me those 20 snaps. They're going to be the most glorious 20 snaps in football history.
Yes.
All right, guys. Everybody think positive. Wear your gear all week long, all the way until Sunday. Wear it proudly. Go out there. Let's make new fans. And we're raking in fans. You know, this Tom Brady team, everybody loves it. Everybody I've talked to has been like, man, this team is so awesome. So, you know, we're getting fans every day. We can win one more game. That'll be more fans. So, you go out there and put your gear on and be the most awesome football fan on the planet. We got to proselytize, recruit, evangelize. Go out there and preach the
There's
gospel
so many
of
words
the
for it.
Buccaneers.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for us, guys. We got a great game Sunday. What time is it? 3 o'clock?
3:05.
3:05 Sunday Eastern time. You know, man, let's do this. Okay. Till next time.
Go Bucs.